Okay, I have the bridge almost done. For the most part, it's done. There's two issues, that being this gap here and this gap here. This rope should connect there, and I haven't quite figured out how I want to do that. I might just use a small cable or no, I won't do that. But besides those two things, bridge is pretty much done. So you can stretch it out. And it does work with like curves and stuff. Not that we would really do that, but I mean, we have that option with us, available to us. If you were to curve it laterally, the ropes will just go straight across. But that's why down here, you can simply go down to rope and you can just turn them off. And then now it's more like a boardwalk kind of thing. You can also turn off the stakes, and you'll notice that there is a gap here. That's because I have an option enabled right now called must be full length meshes. And if I disable that, then it will sort of like squash the mesh to make the distance how it should be. But you know, that can look pretty bad with bridges, so I just have this on by default. And then depending on our placement of the last point, there can be like a gap here. And that was the same issue I mentioned before. I don't mind the gap. The real problem is in Maya, when I put the ropes up, they aren't so the rope here and the rope here are not equidistant from the center of here, so they sort of have an issue there. That's what I would fix with that. The gap I don't mind so much. Okay, let me just make that straight again. And there's a lot of other different parameters I'll play around with here. You can basically change out any of these meshes for any other mesh. So if you want flowers there. And you can also change the size of the meshes. Hold on, Rocky. There's giant medium length. And then there's going to be... You're going to have to change the size of all of them for it to look quite right. And there's also this segment length. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Segment length here that determines how long each segment is exactly. I'm going to bring that back to how they were. In section offset. I don't even remember what this does. Oh, yeah. That basically just pulls in like the post and the stake. It's like you can also rotate those end meshes if needed. You can change the size of the posts. And when you do this, the rope gets off kilter, so you have to go back down the rope, and you can... I made it so that you can change the height that it attaches at. That way, for different meshes, all we really have to do is just change the values in here for it to just work. There's a sideways one too, in case you make the actual thing wider. See, would that be you? Then the posts. The posts also have an offset, so you just have to do all those separately. And it does take a little longer, but it also makes it more scalable for whatever meshes we want to use. I could play around with this for, I don't know, basically forever, but I don't need to. Rocky, hold on. Another issue that I'm not going to worry about fixing right now is that the ropes don't have collision because it uses the cable component. And the cable component uses particles for the mesh. but it does give it some nice physics. You can still like, okay, Rocky, stop. It can still be affected by things pushing it. It just won't block things. To get off my desk, please. Get off. It's my cat. Everything else, it works just like, you know, normal collisions. I set up LODs too, and they're really smooth. Well, I made the bridge huge, so it's gonna take farther away for it to pop up. But you can't even really tell that switching between them, which means I did a pretty good job on it. I don't know the total numbers, but it cuts it about in half, I would assume. Especially with because it basically just removes like all the beveling I did, and it replaces all of the rope with just planes. And that's the main save, is all the rope being turned into planes when you're far enough away. I've messed that one up. I'm gonna place a new one in there. Voila. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. I think there's a lot more I could do with it, but I also don't want to be doing this forever. So I think for now, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. And I think I might just, well, I might fix this end issue, and then I'll move on for now. I don't think for now I'm going to worry about connecting these together. But yeah, awesome bridge.